You will see the screen, shall you?
No, not yet. Yes, now I can.
Okay, so welcome everyone. I'm Diljith Harshan. So today we are going to talk about an Amazon code whisperer from a technical writer's perspective. Uh, so about me, I'm a technical writer for the past 12 years. So I'm family man in the daylight hours and a Spider-Man, and that means I work on the Eastern Standard timings with my clients because most of them are from the US time zone. So, and I'm a movie buff and a dog guy. You can look at my website where I have, and you have a peek at my some of my works and all. So yeah, today I'm going to talk about Amazon Code Whisperer. So it's a very simple tool, but powerful. It basically very similar to a tool called GitHub Copilot, and also one more thing called Code Buddy. So these both are basically oriented or meant for the developer productivity. So you heard it right; it is meant for developer productivity, and you might be wondering why we are discussing it on a technical writers platform. Basically, the Amazon Code Whisperer is something which enhances the productivity of the developer. It leverages the machine learning to understand codes and nuances, and it gives you suggestions on the codes. And it can create high quality snippets, functions, and even complex code blocks. And it supports more than 16 plus languages. Almost all the industry supported languages are supported with Amazon Code Whisperer, and it is integrated within IDE. So I hope you might have know what is IDE. It's basically integrated developer environment. Basically, the close thing which I can relate to IDE is like a canvas of an artist where he portrays all his or he exposes all his ideas, logics, everything. Similarly, IDE is the platform where developer uses all its scales, all the logics, the components, everything here, and that is the platform he used to develop an application. So what are the key benefits of Amazon Code? As I mentioned earlier, it gives you real-time code suggestions, and it supported more than 16 plus languages and even polyglot programming, and it can be integrated within your IDE. Like IDE, there are so many IDEs available. Most common, I believe, is IntelliJ and Microsoft Visual Studio Code. And more than that, it supports Sage, couple of other. So almost 6 to 7 different type of IDs can be integrated within Amazon Code Whisperer, and it is heavily customizable. That means the developer can use at his own will. It can create any kind of custom code blocks, features, everything, functions, logics. So it's a pretty handy tool from a developer perspective. Now get into the details of prerequisites. So what it is required, all you required is an Amazon Toolkit extension for IDE to start working with the Code Whisperer. And to log in the Amazon Code Whisperer, you may need Amazon Web Service Builder ID, which is basically free. I believe with the Amazon shopping account, anyone can create an Amazon Builder ID. That is actually free tier. For individuals, it's pretty free. So we can go and start create one and use the leverage the Amazon Web Service functionalities. Again, now this is the thing. So how it is benefiting the technical writers perspective? It actually helps us creates documentation in terms of we create the technical documentation, release notes, user guides, everything. So it helps to an extent create all this documentation. It gives you code suggestions, like if you hover around one part of I will demonstrate you all this. It will give you suggestions, any alternatives, and it will explain complex code. Um, you might have documented the technical documentation. It actually goes through or runs through a whole code and gives you a beautiful explanation of the complex code. So actually bridges the gap between the developer and the knowledge, the product knowledge, and your knowledge. Because as a technical writer, um, I'm 100% dependent on my developers, especially on the knowledge basis. Regarding the product, regarding the code, it is a very huge topic to be understand and discuss. So from an Amazon Code Whisperer, it bridges the gap between the product knowledge or the how the handling in the back and everything, so that you can ask more focused questions to developers for the users and get that means better control over the content or regarding the product with the help of Amazon Code Whisperer. So we are getting to some real world application. So what are the major benefits of Amazon Code Whisperer? So it reduces dependence, as I mentioned, a considerable amount of dependency we can reduce from the developer side. So much time can also be reduced by, because if I wanted to document a complex technical, in my earlier days I used to have, sit at the code maybe a whole day and go through the documentation, read the line of codes, try to understand. But with Amazon Code Whisperer, everything I can learn within seconds or maybe minutes or in a few hours, the entire code. With this help, we can create very accurate documentation, and more importantly, it gives you control over the content and the knowledge, because it works seamlessly throughout the programming languages. It actually simplifies your work, working between different code bases and also the polyglot programming also. So it actually gives you a better concentration on the product or the line of codes, to be precise. So yeah, so let's start. I will start a demo on this. I have created a small video. I hope you can see me. So this is the Visual Studio Code, and you have to go to the extensions marketplace. Yeah, click there, and you click Amazon AWS Toolkit. You will be support shown with. Yeah, you have to install it.
Diljit, we
Can
cannot
you
see the video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're only seeing the slide. I think.
Oh,
We
I'm
need
sorry. Sorry.
Thank you.
How about now?
Not yet.
Not yet. Are you sharing only the presentation screen?
No,
Just try.
just a second.
You need to share the video separately, Diljit.
I
Give
shared
the.
it.
Are you sharing through Teams? Just check that.
No. Yes, yes.
Diljit, maybe you can stop sharing and then
Yeah,
again click share and then select whole windows. That means your whole laptop will be shared then.
yeah. Got it. Is it better now?
Yeah. Now please try.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's come up now.
Yeah. So yeah, you just have to type AWS. So
You
this is
need to
I will.
go. You need to go back to that screen. We can see your desktop probably right now.
This one. Is
Switch
it
the
better now?
screen. No, we still see that city nightlife kind of screen. Okay, it's probably not sharing. It's not appearing actually.
Just a second.
Yeah.
That we are going to do red. Yeah.
How about now?
Yes.
Are you seeing the win?
AWS toolkit we are
Yes,
seeing.
yes. That's it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, go ahead, please.
yeah. So this is the Visual Studio Code. Go to the extensions. Click AWS. Sorry, type AWS. So yeah, install it. So this is the AWS toolkit, which comprises of so many AWS applications such as Code Catalyst, Code Whisperer, Amazon Q. So everything is included in AWS toolkit. So this is actually totally free. So that's a huge benefit of AWS toolkit. And you install it. So as soon as you install it, it is showing over here. Click there, login. Sign in with your AWS Builder ID, and it automatically goes to the browser. just log in with your AWS Builder ID, and you will be
Diljit, sorry, just a quick question. Which site did we search for this from, or portal for the AWS toolkit?
Tanya, I just from the AWS tool, it's the Visual Studio Code itself. If you install it, it will ask for the login. So it automatically take you to the browser will automatically open to the AWS login page.
No, before that, right? Where did you search for this AWS toolkit? I don't get
It's in the extensions.
So on the left pane, the fifth
LF
icon.
pane. See this one, extensions in the Visual
Okay.
Studio Code.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Then it logs in. Allow access. That's it. So right now we have completed the login purposes of, yeah. So this is how you install the Amazon AWS toolkit inside here. Now let it get into the real application. So first we have to come up with, I have for the demonstration purpose, I have 3 files like this. One is a Java application, simple application, and another one is an configuration file for Amazon Alexa. Last one is an API documentation or a JSON configuration file for an Amadeus Hotel Search API. So I will demonstrate you what are some of the major benefits of. So what you are seeing right now is a configuration file of a JSON configuration file of Amadeus Hotel Search API. Search API. It's basically a hotel search API. Those who are already into API documentation, they can easily make it. But if you're new to this, so this is, I will demonstrate you the visibility. So just select the code, enter code. There is one option called Amazon Q. Amazon Q is nothing but a chatbot of Amazon Code Whisperer. So you can ask a prompt, explain the selected code. So it runs through the all code and it gives you a brief, a write up about what is particular this application. So to start off with, for beginners, this is actually pretty thing. And to go to a next extent, you can ask, I want you create, oh, sorry, detailed. I asked to write a detailed API documentation code for this based upon this code. So it analyzes your code. It creates you an API documentation. So all you have to do is just copy and use it somewhere or anywhere that you think it will be useful. So this is actually pretty helpful for beginners who are actually getting new into API documentation about how these functionalities work, what are the different. So this is a pretty handy tool from a technical writer perspective, especially to have a better understanding about the product. So here I'm not confused or worried about or dependent on developer to go to the developer, hey, please explain me what this particular option is or what particular this operation is, what this is meant for. Same I can ask for the Amazon developer. What is this? I just for demonstration purpose, I'm using simple prompts, but believe me, a good prompts makes much difference. The better the prompt, the more better the answers will be. So yeah, so if you're somewhere stuck with me and you wanted to understand more about this particular stuff, just select the code over there and ask the Amazon Q about what particular this thing is like. So this is one demonstration, and we will go into another explanation of. So this is a little you know a simple Java application for a calculator, basically a simple calculator. So this is the one of the file. So those who have spend so much time on the developer documentation, especially technical documentation. So seeing a code like this, actually, in the beginning days, it was totally alien stuff for me. But so after getting much experience, I can make out from all these lines. And but if you're some of the beginners, or still wanted to some help on this thing, I can actually select the whole code and ask Amazon Q to explain what this particular thing is like. So it actually runs through the code. It gives you line by line description of the code. What this particular function is, what particular class is, what are the major benefits, or what is the purpose of this, things like that. So this is another example. Again, uh, the use cases are actually different from people to people or person to person, from organization to organization, depending upon your need. For example, imagine this is a new feature. Create a technical documentation to explain this new feature based on this code. So yeah, when we are asked to create a short write-up about this particular, like I asked the prompt to, this is a new feature that implemented in our product or the application. So I want you to create a short write-up about this. So this actually, again, runs through the whole code. It gives you a good technical documentation about what this particular application is. And it is pretty handy, and it is pretty detailed as well. It gives very detailed level of explanation to the certain stuff. So yeah, if you're a beginner or some rookie and you wanted to have some sort of helping hand in your technical documentation, especially developer documentation, this is actually totally free. The Amazon AWS Amazon Code Whisperer. You can just install it in your Visual Studio Code. Whenever you are stuck with some other complex code or complex functionalities or something, you just wanted to run this line of codes with your uh, code, so that we will have a better understanding about it. So that is the one thing which I wanted to. And the most important thing is, like, it's an advisory notice. This is a suggestion tool, not a replacement. Best use it for demonstration purposes, or I could say, whenever you are getting into the final review, make it have a proper review system happening before. That means not totally depend on to AI tools like this, because it is, again, not that is not within our control. Always have a good communication with the developers, have a perfect review of the documentation that you have created, and things like that. uh, any questions and answers? Sorry, any questions?
Thank you, Diljit. So we do have a couple of questions. So, uh, is this extension only available with VS Studio? That is
No,
one
it
question
is
from.
actually no. Yeah, normally near to 4 to 5, I believe, 5 IDEs are supported with Amazon Code Whisperer.
Okay, thank you. How is it different from ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini? Is Ramchandra is asking.
Yeah, ChatGPT. So imagine you wanted to take this code out of your developer environment. Not many organizations supports that, right? So yeah, because as it whenever your developers are working on the IDEs, and you are also working in the IDEs, y- if we have this extension like this, you don't have to take it the line of code out of your developer environment, due to data constraint or privacy policies, security policies, things like that. So yeah, that is one good thing. And another thing is, like, this is actually much more developer oriented, rather than the Gemini or the Copilot. Everything are much more not developer oriented. It gives you random content, but this is much more in terms of if you notice this, mm, it actually identify the classes like this, based upon by the code. like that. It is much more easy to understand what is something which you have to stress, like in keywords or functions or logics, things like that. It actually identifies using this, highlights with this. So that is actually not applicable in Gemini or any other tools. So that's another thing.
Sure. Thanks, Diljit. Thanks a lot for your presentation. Smita, you can take up.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Diljit, for getting this mysterious area, right, of coding and tech doc amalgamation clarified for all of us. And a very special mention to your presentation. It's really
Thank
quirky and intuitive, and I'm not sure how many of us noticed, but every slide has a very, interesting quote at the bottom right. So thank you so much for this very intuitive
That's
and
actually,
informative.
yeah. So because I mentioned, I'm a movie buff, so this every images that you can see is a quote from that particular movie, something related to the AI. Thank, glad that you noticed.
Absolutely, it was very refreshing.
Thank
So,
you.
and your demo also, I'm sure it was very useful and people can't wait to try it out. There are a
Thank
lot
you.
more